Oh, good morning. Got another daft plan. I'm going to cycle over to my dad's, which is only about 15 miles, and then this evening around 5 o'clock I'm going to leave there and walk to just the other side of Market Harbour, which is 20 miles. So do some in the evening and do some early tomorrow morning. And the idea behind that is I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. I'm knocking off another section of the Leicestershire round, and also combining it with my hike last week where I went from near Leicester to Matlock. Well, then I'm going from near Leicester to Market Harbour, where the Macmillan Way goes by Market Harbour on the Brampton Valley Cycleway. And I'm looking in the future to link up bits and eventually walk from Land's End to Cape Wrath. Now, I've done quite a lot of it already, and I'm looking forward to just linking up those bits around Leicester which are a bit awkward, and then eventually getting onto the Macmillan Way and heading south towards Barnstaple on the north coast of Devon. Anyway, that is a long way off. For now, I'm cycling over to my dad's. This is the field where we come for the Ashby Magna Vintage Rally, and this year I came with Dad in the Blue Morris Traveller, and we parked just down the bottom of the field there, and the showroom is normally just here. Can you see that? Field of lavender in Leicestershire, and it's absolutely covered in bumblebees, and this is about 1.5 miles from where my beehives are, so there is a possibility that my bees could make it all the way here. And it smells a bit gone over. It's almost finished flowering now. I've never seen that in Leicestershire. When my mum was alive, I used to follow this cycle route from where I lived in Leicester out to Market Harbour, probably almost every week. Yeah, I miss those days, dear old mum. Everything's bloody beautiful about this evening. It is fantastic. And this little valley is gorgeous. I know it's all agricultural land, but still. There's nothing more perfect than planet Earth. I don't know whether you can see me, but I'm pretty close to camping now. It's well, the sun's long set, and if there's no animals in this field, this is looking like the spot, either this one or the next one. Can you see that? There's a badger. He's coming my way. I hope he's not nasty. Look, he hasn't noticed me. See that badger? What a wild animal. What a wild animal. I've sat in woods for ages, hoping to see a badger when I've been camping, never seen one. There's badgers up at the bees, never seen one. Good morning. I've hardly had any sleep, but never mind. Got up and managed to get a bit of moon footage, a time lapse in the middle of the night, and of course that bit this morning, it's 5 o'clock now, and the sun's coming up behind you there, and what a fantastic spot really. It's probably would have been slightly better when it comes to the moon, because it was on the other side of these woods. I did go up there after I'd pitched the tent, but there was a group of people walking with torches on the footpath, which is the other side of the wood. So I'm glad I didn't pitch on the footpath. But I want to get away, because you never know, the bloody farmer might be up early. There's not many animals in the fields at the moment, but he might put a load of sheep down here, mightn't he? Buy some young cattle or something. Yeah, a few owls about at night. That badger, of course, which was absolutely amazing. And the badgers are in these woods. That's all I've heard all night. Sort of like they're playing, fighting, twigs breaking as they're scampering about. But, anyway, I'm going to get the tent down and get on my way, and it's about 12 miles to Market Harbour from here, probably about 8 to Foxton, so maybe I can get some breakfast when I get there. Anyway, let's get cracking. Last few bits to pack up. Can you see me? Whatever that might be. Anyway, I think I might brush my teeth. It's easy to get out of the habit, isn't it? See a little spot. Thank you. Never to be forgotten. Sleepy village at 5:30 in the morning. Only done about a quarter of a mile, but I'm going to stop and have some nuts, and even though it's not quite 6 o'clock, it's really warming up already. So I'm going to take advantage of this nice bench and have some nuts and fruit. There's Robin the Tiptoe Hill over there. It's a distinctive shaped hill, and you can just about see it from anywhere in Leicestershire. I used to do deliveries to this building site. Timber. Saddington Reservoir. Used to come here a lot when I was a kid. Used to go swimming in there. And this beautiful little valley here. Used to come picnicking here. I remember once we were swimming in the reservoir there, and it must have been the cold water, but it shocked a friend of mine, and we had to take him to hospital. I think we must have been driving at the time, so we must have been 17, 16 or however old you have to be. And then in the woods at the back over there, that's where when I was probably, 17, because I had my first car, and I grew a few weed plants at home, and then I bought them and planted them on the edge of that wood. and when I parked my Volkswagen Beetle in a track in the wood, and of course, because it was only 6 volt, it wouldn't start on the key half the time, so we rolled it down the slope in the woods to bump start it, and fortunately it started. And when we got to the bottom, obviously it was so steep in the woods, we couldn't drive out back up the track, but there were a gate there, and we axed into this farmer's field, and they were growing like sweet corn, and we couldn't see where we were going, so my mate sat on the roof and I drove. Anyway, the battery ran out on my camera, so I finished that little tail off. So I sat on I drove and my mate sat on the roof, and we were driving through this field of corn so we could see the gateway onto the road that runs at the side of the reservoir. We got away with that one. God, I was worried to death we were going to get caught. We soon scarpered out of there. And I must say that I haven't smoked any weed since I was 21 years old. Thank God for that. Anyway, I would just love this area around here. You know, like I was saying before, you feel like there's a part of your soul in it somehow, having been brought up around here and spent so much time sort of cycling and walking and playing and fishing in the canal and swimming in the reservoirs when I was a kid. Just great times, and still trying to have a great time now. So I've just remembered I did smoke some weed once. It was probably about 8 years ago, and my son-in-law gave me a spliff for my birthday present, or Christmas or something like that. So I saved it and I smoked just a small part of it, and I was paralysed for an hour. I just felt so sick. I was leaning over the kitchen sink and I daredn't move. I was in agony. And I thought, shit, that was awful. I'm never bloody touching that again. And that was the one time since then. I did this walk with my mum, I can't remember now, probably 24 years ago, and it must have been almost the same time of year, because I did some blackberry picking along the way. My mum loved to pick blackberries. Ah, it's turning into a scorcher. It's one of those really hot days. I'm about a mile from Market Harbour now, and Helen's mother's, where I'll be finishing this walk, which has been linking up a few paths on my sort of Land's End to John O'Groat's fantasy walk. But anyway, the Macmillan Way goes past Market Harbour, was going southwest, and that's what I look forward to in the future, getting on the Macmillan Way and heading southwest. I was just saying, all the hills around here and the valley, the Welland Valley, west of Market Harbour, was really my playground as a child. Naisby, East Langton, Farndon, Clipston, Sibbertoft, North Kilworth, Thedingworth, Gumley, Mousley, Lawton, Foxton, the Lawton Hills. You know, I just loved it around here, getting out, cycling, tramping around, you know, when I was probably from 5 or 6 years old, right up until my late teens. And so this whole area means a lot to me, and I know this video's kind of been a little bit of a sort of a reminiscence of my past, but anyway, so I'm going to end this video here, and so thank you very much for taking an interest, and catch you on the next one after I've recovered from this one. There's a pub down there, might get a beer. Yay!